But there are some key questions that you should be asking yourself when you're creating a 3 to 5 year plan. You should really be asking yourself, what kind of work do you actually want to do? Because most people, when they open up a business, they just simply start and they start accepting clients. So part of why you're feeling stressed out and burned out is because you're probably doing work that you don't actually like to do. You know, an example would be, maybe you're a tax accountant and you're doing bookkeeping work and you hate that. Or maybe you're a bookkeeper and you love that, but you actually hate doing sales taxes. You know, you really want to think about the things that you want to do and ways that you could potentially outsource the work that you have to do, but you don't want to do. It's a really great question to ask in terms of framing out where you want to go and how you want to achieve that vision of success that we're talking about. You also want to think about who you actually want to work for. You know, similar to the work that you are doing versus what you want to do, you likely have clients that you love working for, and you also probably have the exact opposite. You probably have those problem clients that you absolutely hate. And you really want to think about the difference between those two groups. What is it that you like so much about your favorite clients? And what's the difference between that and those that are obviously the opposite of that? And this will help frame up who you want to work with in the future. And once you know what you want to do and who you want to do it for, you know, it's a lot easier to think about the jobs that need to be done in order to satisfy the needs of those people. How does it need to be carried out? And again, can you detail those jobs to be done to the point where someone else could simply walk in and do it for you? Obviously with some component of training, but you know, could they come in easily and do this work for you? At least to the point where there's minimal interaction so that you're not the roadblock of everything. And if you've gone through and you've thought about all of these questions and you've detailed them as part of this strategic roadmap that you're building, you should have a really strong handle on your ideal clients, what they love about you and the services that you provide, and what you need to do to provide those services properly. And that will help you with the value proposition for your marketing and messaging. It'll help you with the value proposition, which also goes into your sales process and your conversion of leads to actual customers. It'll also help you standardize your operations and narrowing your work and your focus on what is really valuable for the people that you want to work for. Because again, a key issue here that we're talking about is commoditization. And part of that commoditization, again, is simply doing too much work, like way too broad in scope overall across all of your clients. And you're just doing too many very different things, which leads to essentially just trying to put out fires continually. Whereas if you had a very structured and focused process and customer base, it just makes life a little bit easier. Everything's the same. Maybe not everything, but a lot of stuff is the same. The core of your work is the same. And the approach becomes a lot more efficient and standardized. And of course, all of that talks to our favorite topic, which is pricing. If you know your key value prop, you know your ideal clients, you know what you want to do, you know the value that you bring, it becomes a lot easier to have those pricing discussions because we see a lot of fear on the back end in terms of how should I price? You know, the client might not accept that. The client might not see value in it. If you've actually gone through, mapped out what you want your life to look like over the next 3 to 5 years, you've talked in your head or put down on paper who your ideal clients are, how you'll work with them, and how you can provide that benefit, you've mapped out that value. You've really shown to yourself what that value proposition is for the clients you want to pursue, which then makes those pricing discussions really easy. Because remember, those clients that love you, value is probably not a conversation you have with them. It's probably usually the people that you don't like working with. So if you're focused on that client group that you love to work for and you can provide a ton of value to, the pricing will come with it. You still have to work on it, don't get me wrong, but going through this process just makes it easier. And so ultimately, if you thought about all of this that we've talked about, and it's a lot, I get it, we're basically, that framework's guiding you down a path of creating a standard approach, you know, messaging, set of services, all centered around a client group or multiple client groups, but focused. And if you're doing the same thing in a profitable, highly repeatable way for a group of people that you like working for, you know, we have just achieved our aim of scale. You know, we again want stability, we want peace of mind, we want relief from the burden and the overwhelm of the day-to-day. And that process that we just talked about, that gets you there. So then it's just a question of actually carrying it out and progressing through it, the gradual piece.